Is your word art looking flat? Give your word art some dimension with the use of layer styles. Hi, this is Jennifer Juris from Digital Scrapper, the very best place on the web to find complete and professional instruction for digital scrapbooking. We help you get your stories told. This video is being filmed in Photoshop Elements, but the instructions are exactly the same for Adobe Photoshop except where noted. Begin in expert mode by opening the layered PSD card front file that comes in the downloads for this lesson. I've given you a word to start with, but if you want to use a different word than the word love, please see the manual for the font and other important information before you proceed. To begin giving this word art some dimension, we need to add a layer style to the type layer. To do that, in the Layers panel, make sure the type layer is the active layer. Then in the menu bar, choose Layer, Layer Style, Style Settings. In the dialog box, set the lighting angle to 120 degrees and then click directly on the word Drop Shadow to open the settings. Set the size to 15, the distance to 10, and the opacity to 50%. And then click on the word Bevel to open the bevel settings. Set the size to 50 pixels, make sure the direction is up, and then click OK to close the dialog box. Photoshop users can find the layer style settings in the manual. The next thing we need to do is clip a paper to the type layer. So in the Layers panel, there is a paper that is hidden and it's just above the type layer. Click on the visibility icon of the paper layer to reveal it, and then in the Layers panel, click on the paper layer to make it the active layer. Then in the menu bar, choose Layer, Create Clipping Mask. At this point, if you want to use a different paper of your own, feel free to do that. The next thing we need to do is create the second layer or the bottom layer of this word art. To do that, in the Layers panel, hold down the Control key in Windows or the Command key on a Mac and click on the thumbnail of the type layer to get a selection outline. Then in the menu bar, choose Select, Modify, Expand, and enter 15 pixels and then click OK to close the dialog box. In the Layers panel, click on the card background layer to make it the active layer. Then in the Layers panel, click on the Create a New Layer icon. Click on the foreground color chip to open the color picker. On the document, sample the light teal color from within one of the polka dots. And we need to make the sampled color lighter, so within the color picker, click and drag towards the top left until you get a light teal color. And then click OK to close the color picker. Now press Alt Backspace in Windows or Option Delete on a Mac to fill the selection with the foreground color. Then press Ctrl D in Windows or Command D on a Mac to deselect. The last thing we need to do is add a drop shadow to the bottom word art layer. So in the menu bar, choose Layer, Layer Style, Style Settings. In the dialog box, set the lighting angle to 120 degrees and then click directly on the word drop shadow to open the settings. Once again, set the size to 15, the distance to 10, and the opacity to 50%, and then click OK to close the dialog box. Photoshop users can see the manual for the style settings. Now you can save the document as a layered PSD file with a unique name. Now the card is ready for printing, emailing, or sharing. I really love how the layered word art gives this card dimension and flair. And here is how I use this technique for the title of this scrapbook page. My nephew is almost 4 years old, and so he's at the age where kicking the dirt is one of the coolest things ever. I love how the layered word art makes the title pop and helps draw the eyes to the photos. If you'd like to learn more about the type tool, check out my class, Secrets of Terrific Type. You'll find a link to this class as well as a coupon code in the manual that accompanies this video. So that's how you make layered word art add some dimension to your digital project. I'm Jennifer Juris with Digital Scrapper.